I want to do some work on the cedar while it's really nice out. As I mentioned, there's a couple updates, pips or whatever they call them, that are going to happen this spring. And I just want to be able to not be in their way. I want to be able to pretty much hook up to this thing and go. I'm going to put some cameras on. And the cameras I have, they work okay, but they work really well when there's a light with them. So I was going to put a light in each tank. Big question is going to be, now, is a camera in a tank really necessary? Truth be told, 99% of the time, I don't think it will be. We didn't have scales on the last drill, so it was really critical that we could know when those tanks were getting empty, or on the other hand, when they weren't feeding out properly. So we had cameras first, and then we had the blockage. The blockage really helped us to know that things were feeding out correctly. But you could have had a blocked run on, or partially blocked or whatever, and it's feeding funny. A lot of times with canola or inoculant, you had to get down and kind of level it out towards the bottom because it wanted to just hang up a little bit. Now, this is probably still the case a little bit, but we got the scales. They're super accurate. Everybody I've talked to said you don't need the cameras, but if you got them, why not? So, brand new drill, and I'm going to start drilling some holes in the tank. Not today. I got to find my hole saw kit. Still waiting on a couple parts to come in the mail as well. But I'm going to put cameras on. So I need to do some figuring here. You know, pretty much we'll tie into this somehow. Not tie, but hook up the same. Like follow my electrical the same. All down the steel lines. All the way to the back. And we'll have a split back there, so I need to do some measuring because I've got cables that come in, I think it's 3, 5, 10, and 20 meters. I'll try and do a split right here somewhere and bring the other ones. Come on, get down. And we'll have to run along the hitch. That doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. But once we get up to here, it will be a lot easier. I just got to figure out where things are going to run. So if we were to kind of come there, gonna have to go up and over this frame because I don't want to get in the tilt. So let's follow some lines here. I'd like to be able to pre-mask. I'd like to be able to get rid of so I'd like to be able to follow and utilize some existing power. What the hell? Is that the pressure thing? No, that's the pressure one. That's a pressure transducer. I wonder if I just stumbled upon a feature I didn't even know we had. Look at that. We got light. That's really interesting. I didn't know that existed in these. That saves me a lot of time, cables, lights that I've already bought, and drilling 2 holes. Neat. So I'd kind of like to come through with a camera in about the same spot that is, hopefully. So there's pretty good room over here to drill a hole where you're not gonna be exposed or anything. If I can, I don't want to drill holes on top because of this. That ice. Just, I don't want rain to sit there and weep through. I'm thinking this tank will go right by that pressure transducer down there. This one the same. I don't particularly want it on that side because it could get hit by the conveyor on the downslope. So sides are better. Initially I was hoping to go under the grating, but that's just not going to be any fun to drill. We'll go find some cable and we'll get things laid out. If you've been following me for a while, first of all, thank you. You would already know this. If you're new to following me, well, thank you. And you might not know this. And if this is your first time watching me, please remember to like and subscribe. And something you should know is that I like everything that I install to look as close to factory or custom, like professional, as possible. I don't like cables that are strung out and loopy and dangling and sloppy. I don't like mounts that are different colors. I don't like cables strung everywhere. I like everything to look neat and tidy. Usually that comes back to bite me when you have to fix something because it is tucked away so nice, or I use a pile of zip ties. But regardless, I want it to look good. So I tend to spend a lot more time thinking about something than I really need to. I don't like loose or sloppy cables because they end up getting tight. No, I shouldn't say tight. Tugged on. Maybe they get snagged on something, or they're loose and they just keep on waving in the wind and rubbing against something, and things don't work. So I like what I'm seeing so far. This job has gotten a lot simpler just based on the fact that instead of having to drill a dozen holes, now I've got 4 holes that are whatever the grommet is, and I'm set. And then just a bunch of zip ties. So I'm gonna go do some measuring here, figure out what I need to have a separation there, and then cables run all the way up. So to get to the back right there, about 45 feet, give or take, kind of loose measurements. 15 meter cables would be perfect. I don't have any. I'm pretty sure I have 420s in a group already. So we'll just find a spot to spool, probably right there. Spool the excess, tuck it away nice. Now we got to go from here back and then each individual tank. So to get all the way up to where that transducer is, it's like 32 feet, which is pretty good. So 32 feet, 10 meters, get all 4 to somewhere here. And that's, if I follow, I might actually go a little different route. We'll see. It'd be nice to come up the underside of the stairs. Just takes a little less. Ah, don't do that. There's 13, 14, 15 right there. 15. Let's go find some cameras. We can start getting some stuff laid out. And it's pretty much warm enough I can start using zip ties. Zip ties don't like to be installed at all, like -5 or lower. Okay, progress. Got the cables. They may have been dragged through the snow a little bit. All the way up to the front. Spooled my access right there. Like I said, probably about 5 meters worth. Now we're gonna go to the back tanks and work our way forwards, I think is probably the best way to go. Well, things were moving along pretty good for a while. Unfortunately, I hooked a cable up back, or I didn't hook anything up, but I installed it backwards. That's the wrong way. To go forward, that's the wrong way. If you look at over here, where are you? That's the end I need to connect to. So it needs to be the male version. That one. So I got to cut a bunch of zip ties. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one is the one that's backwards. Yep. Then I got another one run for the small, for tank number 1. It's 10 meters. It's just long enough. All right. So, warming up today. Well, I warmed up yesterday. Did a lot of work on the cedar. Got cameras. Son of a bitch. That's where I put them. Don't suppose those are very warm this morning. All right, so here's my cameras. These two were in last year. This was in my canola tank, or my 100 bushel tank. This was in one of the bigger tanks. This mount was also in one of the bigger tanks, but the camera actually accidentally got dropped. It was still working, but the cords were exposed on the back. So she wasn't long for this world. And then this is a new one that I just rigged up on a magnetic base, hoping it'll work. If not, we've got time to order some new stuff. So I'm just going to start working front to back. Tank 1, probably going off the side. See how things are going to run. Tank 2, we're going to go in just here, and we're going to try and run to the middle. And I'm hoping I can put one pointed straight down right over top of the meters. And the other two, well, they're going to be the other two. Sorry, this one's going to go over here. Kind of same thing, but not as drastic. The back one, coming from the other side. We don't need to be able to see the whole time, especially with the scales now. Before, with the cameras and no scales, we were kind of guessing, so we'd like to have it where we could see the ladder rungs a bit. So you could kind of see, oh yeah, it's coming down a bit. When it's really critical, especially now that we have the scales, is when it's down to the bottom. I want to be able to see that everything is metering, I shouldn't say metering, but feeding out and finishing evenly. Not that it's gonna, just that, say I get to the last strip of a field, I hit the fit to field thing, and I know I'm just a dead straight run. I don't have sectional to worry about. I don't have turn compensation to worry about. I'm just doing a straight shot, and it says I need to finish off the tank. I don't know, maybe there's 100 some odd pounds in there. Who cares? Doesn't matter. But if I get to the corner and I'm towards the bottom of the tank and I see, oh, it's hanging up on this side and it's lower on that side because I've been doing a lot of overlap and the sectional control on that side has been shutting off more, that kind of stuff. Well, probably before I get out and start doing my last run, I'm going to run up here, crawl in, level things off. I got the camera for tank 1 there right at the bottom of the ladder, and it's all the meters are tucked around the corner. But if that doesn't work where it is, I've got lots of cable tied up on the side, especially at the bottom, to be able to move it to like the opposite side or wherever. If we wanted to move it down into the side and look across them, we could do that too. So there's tank 2. Pretty happy with how that went. There's tank 3. And camera number 4. So, yeah, the only thing left to do is just make sure that tank 1 is going to input 1 and so on and so forth. And I can't do that without the Delta track out here, because I've got like a red, a blue, a yellow, and a green zip tie. And I'll connect them at the tractor, and all I got to do is change them over down here on the toolbar to make them match up. And then I'll color code them there too. Thanks again for watching, everybody. If there's something else you'd like to see, something we do around the farm, please let me know in the comments. And please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and have a great one.